Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Drew with Logic Airsoft, and today I'm gonna have a different video for you guys. This build was given to me by a customer from a different tech. They go by Brewdogs. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this. The owner, his name is Harley, which I unfortunately have a really bad history with. He is a piece of shit. And I said if any of their guns who I know are bad come across my desk, well, I'm gonna make a video on it. So I'm gonna be taking you guys along the process of me breaking this down and showing you guys why this build is horrible and why you shouldn't support some of these techs. I don't think everybody is bad. I don't think every tech is bad. I think a lot of these techs are bad and need to be held accountable. So I'm gonna be the one to start the beautiful little trend. So you're gonna see portions of this fast forward and not fast forward, me explaining everything, why I believe the things that I believe, and simply my observations. And if this is a good build, well, then the intro is gonna be way different, which I highly doubt. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so it's not even 3 minutes into this video at the time of me recording it when I started. And we're already starting off with a horrible purchase of a Crytek motor. And why? Because these things are pieces of shit. These are very fast motors, very fast motors. I don't know if this is a 25 or 30 K motor, maybe a 35, but the magnets on this are super weak. They claim to be like a 20 plus TPA motor, turns per armature, but that doesn't really mean much if these magnets are weak. So you get the trade-off of either high speed or high torque. There really is no 2-in-1 when it comes to brushed motors, so we're gonna be getting rid of this thing. And I don't understand why you would even, if you had it laying around, sure, but as far as I'm concerned, the customer was charged for this, so this is getting dropped. First thing, off the rip. And again, not even 5 minutes into me making the video. Some context to all of this: I had two customers reach out to me saying that Brewdogs built them these replicas. I was very familiar with Brewdogs, Harley specifically, because he had built something for me in the past, which was trash, and I had to rebuild, which is why I started working on my own AEGs, because I felt it was very wrong. And I'm going to be showing you exactly what's wrong with this build. So we have the complete stock compression, plastic teeth, which if you upgraded the motor and you got into the gearbox, you even added a delayer chip, you couldn't be bothered to tell the customer that they need to replace their piston. I mean, granted, the piston isn't horribly worn down, but $15 to make your build, $20, let's say $30 on the highest end to make your build slightly better. Compression isn't bad. O-ring in here? No O-ring. Again, okay. I am not surprised. I don't want to mess with any of the shims. I'm gonna remove this. Let's remove this trigger. Remove the MOSFET. I want to check the shimming on this and see what it looks like. I don't think I'm going to be surprised or amazed at anything. Let's get it bigger. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's a lot of play. I don't even want to check the other ones. There's also very little to no sign of attempting to glue these in place. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. Why are you cutting the tappet plate when it's an SSG with the delayer chip, but you cut the tappet plate? This shit makes no sense. Okay, well, another loose bushing. Isn't that grand? Alright, well, let me get this cleaned up, and then I'm going to glue these bushings in place because they're all fucking loose. I can't shim like that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start re-shimming this whole gearbox. I'm going to end up using all the gears because the gears seem perfectly fine. Nothing seems bad, nothing seems like the ordinary. So, yeah. Now, many of you guys are probably asking why I'm going about it this way and talking about these builds that other people are building. It's simply that us as a community, we need to start holding each other accountable and pointing things out that are wrong. And I'm not saying that there's a right way and there's a wrong way of doing teching, because everybody has different parts and combinations, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when these are deliberate mistakes that are being made on not one but two builds, because again, two of them came across my desk and I had to fix both of them with the same issues, I think that's more of a problem. Not only that, but this customer paid for parts and bought these parts. They weren't even on the build list, you know what I mean? Like, he paid for 13-to-1 gears. There is no 13-to-1 gears on there. He paid for a different motor. They gave him a Crytek motor, which I'm 90% sure Harley just had laying around. There's a piston and a piston head assembly that should have been replaced. There's a plastic nozzle. It's an aluminum SHS nozzle. Let's get yourself that O-ring inside of the nozzle. It's just smaller things that really make a difference, right? And if you're charging a customer full price for it, you should let them know, hey, these are some small upgrades that you should definitely do. And if you're replacing your motor, yeah, replace your piston. That's more important. That's far more important. But that's why I feel we need to start holding each other accountable and really exposing all these fake techs and self-proclaimed techs. Know who you're working with, whether it be with me or whether it be with anybody else. Know who you are dealing with and make sure they are trustworthy and reliable.